Hey, welcome back to Meet the Masons.
Thank you guys for joining us again.
Woo-hoo.
So today starts the 6-week series of our postpartum update.
Yes. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, we're super excited because we did the pregnancy updates for both pregnancies, and then we realized people don't really understand the ins and outs of postpartum.
Yeah.
We experienced postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety last time with River, and so we just wanted to document what it really looks like, what it looks like for support, because Jared's a big part of postpartum.
Thank you.
And yeah, so we just want to give you the realities of it. Now Levi is with us, so if you hear some smacking, that's his pacifier. He might be going to sleep, we don't know, but yes, so we're gonna get started.
So what we're going to do is actually separate this into 5 small sections, so that way we have highlighted points, and we'll walk you through it along the way.
Yes, so those 5 areas are physical recovery, feeding, emotional recovery, support, and parenting. Yes, so we're gonna get right to it. All right. First section, physical recovery. So as you guys know, we had a scheduled C-section with baby number 2. Our first baby, we actually had to have an unplanned induction and an unscheduled C-section.
Yes.
And we actually tried to have a VBAC, or we were candidates for a VBAC, but we ended up having a scheduled C-section.
Right.
So that was fine. So physically, I knew what to expect with the C-section. The first day, right after the C-section this time around, they were concerned about my incision, so they had the doctor come right to me because it was something bleeding. So that didn't happen last time, but I wasn't concerned. Were you concerned?
No.
Yeah. So they found out it was fine. It was just a little bit of bleeding that was happening. And then after you have the C-section, during that time they put a catheter in you. So if you don't know what a catheter is, they actually hook it up to your bladder, so that your bladder can basically empty without you having to get up. Because if you don't know, right after you have a C-section, it's going to be hard to walk because you just had surgery on your abdomen and your core.
Yeah. And
you need that area to walk.
they also bisect the bladder from the
uterus.
surface.
Or
the
cervix.
uterus.
One of
them parts. They separate that thing. Yeah.
So 12 hours after the surgery, they actually removed the catheter, and for me, it's just tough because it's like you want to sit in the bed and you want to, you can't feel yourself peeing. Yeah. You can't tell. But now when they take it out, you know that you have to get up. Took that catheter out, I was like, oh shoot, I know this means now I have to start getting up out of the bed.
Yeah.
So the hardest part is really literally getting up out of the bed.
Literally.
So Jared would come and help me, like, you have to like prop yourself up, turn, you can't move fast, you still feel a lot of stuff. Some things you can't because you have pain medicine, so they have you on Percocet and Motrin as well. So that was fine. And so the walking is very, very slow, very painful, and then you pee, and sometimes it can burn, just because you have the catheter in, or your body is releasing all these toxins out of your body. So it's like, it's just a whole big deal. But physically I was fine. So in the hospital, I think they encouraged me to walk earlier than last time. So I started
and also it's a little bit different because, like, being in the surgery for so many hours, having had to fast before that, and then being on the table for so long, and on another chair, or not chair, but another hospital bed for so long, it seems like, oh, okay, I would be able to just get up and walk, but no, your legs really are not being used. And for that time, they actually have her on leg compressors and different things like that. And you would think, I can just jump out of the bed. It's not happening, because anytime you try to lean forward, move to the side, you're using your abs, and those just got cut. So it's
every
tough.
movement is very tough. But like I said, they started having me walk a little bit earlier than I did with River. I think I started walking the day that we were going to be discharged. We see Jared looking at the baby. This is real life postpartum, y'all. We're trying to record. Our toddler is asleep, and he so happens to still be up. Excuse me. Anyway, so I started walking a lot sooner, and I think that helped a bit. Even though I didn't want to walk more, it was good that I walked more. Yeah, to kind of...
Not the speed racing. Like, literally, like, shuffling.
Yeah.
And every shuffle counts, so do as much as you can.
Yes. So then that week, I got home, and if you have stairs in your home, it's always best to actually go up the stairs backwards. So hold on the rail and then move your legs backwards, or go up the stairs backwards, because you're using less of your core. And then the motions for your legs, you don't have to lift them as high if you're going backwards. So We learned that last time with our C-section. So if you happen to have one, that is a great tip to use. And so I was walking backwards that entire time. And other than that, I would say sleeping. That night when we got back, I knew that I probably should sleep in a rocking chair, because last time with River, I tried to sleep in a bed and I realized our bed is way too low. Also, just can't really get comfortable. You have to sit up. So I got in a rocking chair and we were all in the room together, and it wasn't it. I was like,
not happening.
No, it was not comfortable. I couldn't get the sleep that you want. So you think that, okay, you're out of the hospital, now you're in the comfort of your own home, and you think you're going to get better sleep, and it doesn't work like that, because the hospital bed is ideal because it has you propped. Now if you have one of those beds that are fancy that can prop you up, that's awesome. I would definitely recommend that. But if you don't, I actually had to end up going to our guest room, which has a higher bed, and we got a whole bunch of pillows and propped them up so I can get a little bit better sleep. So that's something to think about too after you have a C-section. Sleep may not look the same for a while.
Yeah.
So another thing too is that we were given a prescription for Percocet, which is codeine, oxycodone, and Motrin, which is 800 milligrams of that. And basically you can take the Motrin every 8 hours and the Percocet every 6 hours. Or you can take them together, which is kind of what I did, because it made me feel a little bit better when I combined them together. So I would kind of wait that every 8 hours. So that was something I would recommend, because, well, for me, that's how my body responded to it. So that was fine. And then other than that, you bleed. So people don't know that even when you have a C-section, there is still vaginal bleeding, because your body has to get rid of that extra blood and extra stuff that was on the inside of you. So even though you didn't vaginally deliver, yes, you still bleed.
Yeah.
The hospital will give you these mesh panties, and then they'll give you some pads to go on the inside. I don't have the pads with me because I use them all. But I actually would use the pins. So if you guys have ever seen the adult underwear for people who, you know, sometimes use the restroom themselves, for older people, those actually work really well for postpartum. So I brought those to the hospital, ran out of those already. But I prefer those as well. So that is it for the physical portion of week 1.
All right. Number 2 is all about feeding.
Yes.
This part sucks.
Meaning baby suckles. Anyway, so as you guys know, I breastfed River for 22 months. So my desire was to breastfeed again with Levi. And so in the hospital, the latch is always great. So he latched, he got his colostrum. We had the lactation consultant come in because his latch was starting to hurt a little bit. And she was very, very helpful, and showed me how to hand express for the first time. Because last time I was just like so freaked out about the idea of having to express milk out of my own body. It was weird.
Express yourself.
So I never learned how to do it, but I did this time. And then Jared, he helped as well. So I was like, oh, okay, milk is actually coming out. Milk came in the next day. And when I say milk, it's like the fore milk and the hind milk, not just the colostrum, because colostrum is milk, but more the white milk, because he was nursing and I saw him come off and he had like white milk around his mouth. I was like, oh wow, my milk came in. And so lactation consultant was like, oh my gosh, your milk came in early. And it doesn't matter if you have a C-section or a vaginal delivery.
Right.
Yep, because your milk will start to come as soon as the placenta is delivered. So as long as it's taken out of your body, milk will start to produce. Your body will signal it to be produced. Anyway, so breastfeeding was pretty good. When we got home, it just became more and more painful. It was painful last time with River, and honestly, it was very similar to River's experience. On the second or third day being home, I pumped with River, and so I ended up pumping for the first time with him on Thursday, which was I think like 4 days postpartum. And I used the Free Me pump, which is a hands-free pump. I'll probably put a picture somewhere around here. And I pumped for the first time, y'all, for 30 minutes, and it was only 1 ounce in each each container. So I was very discouraged. One, I don't think he needed as much. He probably only needed 2 ounces anyway. But I felt so full that I knew that I had more milk in there, and I didn't think it was doing a great job. So I was kind of discouraged, but I did pump, and then he had that pump milk for his first appointment on that Friday. So it was cool seeing him have his first bottle.
Yeah.
I think we have a little clip of him having his first bottle. So I was like, oh, that was cute.
I think we did record that, yeah.
Yeah, we did. So that was that. But even still, breastfeeding was very just painful. So I use a lot of
prayer and supplications.
prayer and ointment. So I use the cream, lanolin, different brands, Medela brand, and then the lanolin brand. And you just rub that on after feeding, so that would help. And then we had like a breast pad.
Yeah,
and
the icy packs and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first week. Like I said, difficult. Like when he had to latch on, I was like, oh my gosh. Jared still helped me during that time to latch him, because I'll be like, oh, getting tense. But I always say, if you can survive the first 2 weeks of breastfeeding, you'll probably be good, but they are going to be intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty guys, so the third section is about emotional recovery. So emotionally, I would say I cried a lot, just like I did with River. If you guys are wondering if you think I have postpartum depression or anxiety this time, no, I don't think so. The difference I feel is that last time with my crying, I really did feel sad. There was a lot of trauma that I experienced because I didn't think I would have a C-section. So I was very disappointed from that. Still very distraught from the fact that I had a delivery that I didn't expect to have.
Yeah.
And so that was tough. And then I didn't know how tough breastfeeding would be. It was very hard during that time. So this time I feel like it was more so hormonal cries, like just trying to get rid of all those emotions and wanting to be with River. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so emotionally I was good. What would you say?
Also, it was the second time around, so it's almost like getting a fresh start, knowing what's coming. So because you can like brace yourself, like, hold on, I remember this last time, I remember that last time. It's a little bit of a edge cut, like it cuts the edge off just a little bit, where it's like, okay, I knew that was coming. So I think that was a huge benefit, because just like walking through CVS, it was almost the same exact experience, except for somebody at the end was like, oh, you need help with anything? But last time it was like, oh, nobody talked to me, they thought I was weird. And that hit you hard. Like it wasn't fun. Like you literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
if you guys don't know what Jared is referring to, is for the first time I had to go into CVS with River to pick up my prescription, and it was just a very bad experience. I was walking slow, people were looking at me like, what is wrong with her? Because on the outside I looked fine, but I was literally walking so slow, and people were brushing past me. They didn't hold the door open, and I was distraught over that. But this time around, I was still walking slow, and people still looked at me, but I was like, you know, I'm fine. And that is our 2-year-old waking up. So emotionally, do you feel like there was a difference in how I responded?
I think that's what I was meaning before. It's like it was a similar response, but because you had the first look last time, this one was a little bit less edgy. It wasn't like everything was just like knocking you off. It was just like, okay, I know this is coming. All right, let me work through this, or let me help myself through that moment, or ask for help with this, ask for help with that. So I think it was a lot more communication this time, which made it easier for both of us.
Alrighty guys, as you can see, River is with us. She just woke up from her nap.
This is what life looks like.
Yes. And fittingly, the next portion is called support.
Yeah.
So how have you been feeling the first week of supporting us in this postpartum journey?
My arms have been full. Literally. Normally I carry all 3 of them, but Kiara wants to stand up right now.
Okay, seriously, how's it been?
I just...
Babe.
So, I would say, are we talking about parenting, or are we talking about in general?
Like how you've been supporting us and like helping with River during this time?
Yeah, the sleep game is totally different. Like right now, it's really all about what do we need to do now. So when Kiara gets up in the middle of the night, I get up, I clean up bottles, change diapers, I help out. River is on a different sleep pattern. So because of that, she's kind of on her normal schedule. So balancing between Levi and Kiara's schedule and River and I's schedule. So trying to be there for both of them. And it's been good. It's been busy. Like busy. And then some moments you can be like, man, am I being appreciated? Do you know what I'm going through too? But then you look past that and it's like, hold on. This is temporary. He's going to be bigger in the next couple weeks. She's already able to get her own snacks and drinks and do a lot of stuff for herself. And Kiara's obviously grown, but she's just recovering. So knowing that this is a temporary phase helps you to stick with it, especially when you're committed not only to your family, but first and foremost to God. Because, man, your family can get on your nerves. And God can give you the extra juice to love past that. So that's really a lot of what I've been leaning on. It's like, all right, God, if you were in this situation, would you help us? Would you do this? Would you do that? Just like the old bracelet, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus be flipping off, or would he just make the bottle? Would Jesus be flipping off, or would he just read the nighttime story and give River a bath? So it's like, all right, let me lean on that and let that overflow in the other areas. Because like a lot of times, everybody's tired and you don't really always feel appreciated, but you know that you are. And you know that you're doing these things because you love God and God wants you to take care of your family. And that's where it really spurs from. So that number one relationship overflows in everything else. And it also helps you prioritize time to take care of yourself. Like, I got to get in the shower. I got to eat. I got to cut my hair. I got to do this. I got to do that. So knowing that if I take care of me, I can take care of them. And then if I take care of them better, later on they'll take care of me. So it really works out.
Yeah. I would say during this time, just receiving the help has been amazing. I know if you guys don't know, River is still in daycare, so we asked other moms, should we take our daughter to daycare during this time or not? But we decided to keep her in daycare because it helped us have more of a normalcy, basically.
Yeah, it helps.
And to have a routine. So, you know, to get up and know that, okay, let's get River off, and then once she's off, now it's just the three of us, so it's a little bit easier to manage. So Jared's been great with that, fixing her lunch every morning, fixing me breakfast because I don't go downstairs because it's just too much physically right now to go up and down the stairs. So he'll make sure that I have breakfast before he leaves to drop her off, come upstairs and do that. And it's just been, honestly, I can't do it without him, and I couldn't do it without him. She eats more than
breakfast. She has breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner,
everything,
snack.
of course. But I'm just saying, I'm talking about the morning time.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I know, they know you eat.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, so it's just been amazing having that support, so I'm grateful for that. River was actually with her grandparents while Levi was born, and then she actually got sick during that time. Woo. So she came home, and originally we wanted the first night to be by ourselves, but their flight changed, so it was fine because we were like, oh, we want our daughter here anyway. But a lot of this week was keeping River downstairs and Levi upstairs so that he didn't get sick. So that was another challenging thing that we had to do, but had to get done. Yeah. So that's it for that portion.
All right, number 5 is parenting.
Yes, so obviously we had to switch some positions around. So it is different, guys, having 2 kids for sure. We never talked about it, but Jared more so took responsibility of River than I had Levi, and it was mainly because River was sick, so we wanted to keep them separate anyway. Of course, he's been helping as well, but I think in this round, I do a little bit more than I had to do with River, like at night or whatsoever, because Jared is with River, and I try not to wake him up, even though I still do. Like, if I need the help, I'll wake him up during that time. So that has been a little bit different, but it hasn't been overwhelming. It's like,
I don't think
we got to do...
No.
Because last time...
everything I was up for.
No, you were, but I'm saying last time with River... Like, River was in the room and in the bassinet on your side of the bed. So you would pick her up in the middle of the night and bring her over to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now it's like, you know, in the middle of the night, it's me. Not saying that it's just overwhelming, but it is different because I didn't have to do that with River last time. And then during this time, like, me just making sure that River knows that I love her still and that I'm not choosing the new baby over her because I had to spend more time with Levi. Mainly because she was sick, because I wanted them to be around each other, annoy each other, and all those different things. But we wanted to make sure that they were both healthy and recovering well. So that was kind of hard for me. Like, I cried over that. But at the same time, I felt like River kind of instinctively knew, like, oh, it's daddy time now. Like, I'm excited about that. So,
which, who's going to cry about daddy time?
Yeah. Nobody. I think she adjusted really well. Yeah. So what do you think about this time?
Yeah, I think it's been a bit of an adjustment because it's only been River for so long, and now it's like, okay, hey, you know what, we got to take care of both of them and then prioritize, do I give you the bottle first or do I feed you first? And obviously we can do both at the same time, which we have. But just recognizing, hey, what is most pressing? So order of priorities, managing your time has been a little bit more complicated, but it's so much more rewarding because you know you're being that much more effective. And then at the same time, after and before the kids, around the kids, taking care of ourselves, because if we don't take care of ourselves, then we can't take care of them. So it always goes back to, hey, are we taking care of us? Hey, are we following God? And it just goes forth from there. Yeah.
And I must say that River absolutely loves her baby brother. Always wants to help. Always wants to kiss him. Always wants to be by him. And it is the cutest thing to see that, because that's what we want to foster as siblings. Love on each other.
Yeah.
Annoy each other. Play with each other. That's what it's all about. So we definitely love that. So all in all, that is the first week of what postpartum looked like for us.
It's busy.
It's very busy. It's a lot of adjusting. It's figuring out. It's a lot of crying. It's emotional. But all in all, I think it's been a better experience than the last time.
Yeah.
And I know that it gets better. One thing I know about postpartum is that literally every day it gets better and better. You'll have your challenges, but I know that it'll get easier. But it has been, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, and I also will say that we recorded this video before, but it's been a couple weeks and we had to go back and re-record it because it was blurry. But I think I've been taking notes so you guys know what's really happening during this time. Yeah. So we love you. Hopefully we can do a video next time during the nap time to where, it's not so much moving, but this is what it looks like being a family of 4 and
making adjustments,
trying to get stuff done, and family is what it is. So if they have to join us, this is what it looks like from now on. So
it's been a lot of fun, and like I said, it's busier, but definitely much more rewarding, because like obviously seeing River love on Levi, seeing Levi look like this and then smile, it's just it's just the best moments ever. So it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So we love you guys, and we look forward to giving you an update on week number 2 very soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hasta luego. Say bye, River.